again, college can be an overwhelming experience with so much to do and seemingly so little time. And in order to make the most of your college, you need to do well in class, take advantage of all the extracurricular opportunities, and prepare yourself for the life after graduation. Going to college can be fun and exciting, especially when you're committed to being successful. Well, number one, you gotta do well in class. You have to go to class. Don't rely on the magic number of classes you can still miss and still do well. Each missed class represents missed content and missed discussion. Some professors weigh participation into your final grade calculation, even if attendance isn't required. However, you will make a good impression on your professor and your TA if you show up to class. Only miss class if you're genuinely sick, too sick to get anything worthwhile out of the lecture. If you need some incentive, consider this: the cost of each hour in class. The average yearly cost of tuition in a public university is around $10,000. Giving a 15-week semester with 4 classes each semester, you pay $25 per class hour for the privilege of being taught. Not going to class is basically the same as setting $25 on fire. Why would you do that? Step 2. Take notes. As much as we want to believe that our memory is incredible, there's plenty of space there's plenty of stuff that take up the space in your head while in school. Taking good notes will help you be engaged in class. And it will give you the basic when studying for exam. Or classes that are organized around clear, logical, ordered topics such as history or biology, the Cornell method can help you prioritize the most important information. 3. Participate in class. Ask questions of your instructor, give answers if they ask questions, and contribute to the discussion sessions. Taking an active part in the class will keep you involved with the material and help you better understand what the instructor needs you to know. This will definitely ensure that you understand what the professor needs you to know. Sitting in front of the class, or at least not in the back, will make it easier for you to pay attention and put you front and center that the professor will see you. Number 4, take time to study. Success in college relies on you preparing outside of class. So spend time reviewing your notes, reading the textbook for each session. When you study, find a quiet space and cut out any outside distraction. A good rule of thumb is to spend 2 hours for each hour you spend in one lecture. Study groups. Working with others will be great. It can be helpful, but also you can get distracted and off track easily. Make sure that you find a good study group, usually 2 or 3 people, that reviews the material and spend most of the time on actually studying rather than chatting. Don't cram. Part of being a successful student is doing more than passing the test. It's retaining the useful information for the real world. When you cram, you might remember enough to pass your exam, but chances are high that you'll forget most of it in a day or two. You're spending tens of thousands of dollars to learn this, so actually remember it for later is a smarter investment. Spacing your study sessions over a few days to make sure that you remember the material later. Rather than spending 9 hours on marathon study for a test, instead start a few days early and study 1 or 2 hours each day for 3 or 4 days in a row. If you can plan well ahead, it's even better to space your studying out for a period of weeks. That's what I did, and I guarantee you it will save you so much stress. Number 5, avoid procrastinating. No professor ever complained about students like handing their stuff in early. Setting aside time to complete one task will give you ease of stress level and make it more likely to complete others on time. On occasion, you might need to stay up all night to finish one assignment, but procrastinating will only make this worse for you. Set yourself regular performance goals such as 200 words a day and studying 6 math problems. These small goals seem easy, so you're less likely to procrastinate on them. However, compliments will pile up fast. It's good. And remember to sleep. Try to avoid guilting yourself into work. Extrinsic motivation, such as I ought to do this so my parents won't get mad at me, isn't a strong intrinsic motivation, such as I want to do well in that exam, so my grades are good, will help me get into medical school. Setting positive goals for yourself and reminding yourself that your work will help you achieve them will help crush that procrastination. Number 6, communicate with your instructor. Your professors want you to do well in class, so feel free to ask them anything. Every professor has office hours, so you in the beginning of the year stop by to introduce yourself, say hi, my name is Anne, I'm in your class, and then ask about the class or discuss your grades. This can be a great way for them to learn about you, your strengths and weaknesses, and provide like feedback on improving your work. And don't forget your TAs. Most of them are quite knowledgeable and they're the one who are marking your tests, not the professor. And it's best if you can set a foundation on communication early. First time the professor hears from you is the night before the midterm will make him or her think that you are lazy and waiting for the last minute to study, which you probably are. Number 7, be confident. Most students' attitude towards class dictates their success. I feel this is so true. Believe you can learn the material and be successful, and you will increase your chances of succeeding. Don't think about how difficult things are, but how you're going to overcome these difficulties. If you're naturally shy or worried about sharing your opinions in class, like how I used to be, remind yourself that professors want you to learn, and in reality, no one really cares what you put on your hands. They'll just like think that you're quite brave. In general, classrooms are a safe place for people to share their opinions and ask questions and have discussions. Try not to worry about like sounding silly with a question. Chances are many of your classmates have the same questions but are too afraid to ask. You can be a trailblazer. So I hope these tips will help you in your university career and have fun on back to school. Bye!